Hello, and welcome to Not Just Books, the library's monthly show about what is happening at the Williamson County Public Library and your world in Williamson County, Tennessee. My name is Dolores Greenwald, and I'm the director of the library. And today we have very special guest, Debbie Sims, who is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Williamson County Animal Center. So if you're a pet lover or if your children are pet lovers, please stay tuned because there's a lot of opportunity for you to get connected to the Animal Center. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Today I'm so happy to have with me Debbie Sims. Debbie is the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Williamson County Animal Center. And she's going to be here to talk about the Animal Center and about a program very near and dear to my heart is Book Buddies. Hi, Debbie.
Good morning. How are you, Dolores?
I am good. Thanks so much for coming.
You're very welcome.
And tell us about Book Buddies.
Well, there is a tie-in between the library, reading, and the Animal Center.
There you go.
Book Buddies is a program we started at the shelter because we had read about animals in shelters across the country benefiting from children reading to them. It could be, in some areas it's dogs where they have a space for that. In some areas it's cats. So we don't have a room right now to read to the dogs just because of the way we're set up. But we do have Per Palace, which is where we have a lot of adult cats live together in a large room. It's a free roaming cat room, which is kind of the new trend in sheltering these days. So we thought it would be fun to offer a program for kids to come in and read to those cats. So if a child is between the ages of 5 and 10, we do have the Book Buddies program. We have a bookshelf there, and I grabbed a couple of books as I left today.
Good, good.
Or a child could bring their own book. It's a great place for a child to learn about animals. When you go into Per Palace and get a book and sit down to start your Book Buddies visit, you just sit and quietly read, and something special happens. That is, the cats start coming to the kids. And you can imagine what that's like for a child. So the child is very excited that the cat comes over. The cat learns from this how to chill. Because when you go home with an adopter in a new home, it's not all fun and games. You don't play with your cat all day long. There are times where you want your cat to sit down and be quiet. The other benefit is that nobody is there to say, wait, you read that word wrong, go back, start over page 1. So you could probably address that. It's a no judgment zone.
That's right.
For readers, right?
That's right.
And for struggling readers, it's great because the parents can sit out in the lobby and the child can be alone. And if they mess up a word or two, it doesn't
Who cares?
Who cares, right? Who cares? And that's one of the best ways to learn to read.
It is, and libraries have been working with Read to Me programs for a while, where we would have dogs come in, kids would come and read to them. But I love the fact that the kittens or cats come up to the child that's reading. Those of us dorks that say books are magical, there you go. That's a perfect example.
They are, and the cat doesn't know if you're reading a story about a cat or a dog.
It doesn't matter.
A horse or some other subject matter.
That's right. It doesn't matter a bit.
It's just soothing, and it sort of calms the child down and makes reading more fun because they're not under any pressure like they are at school or if they have to do a book report.
Yeah.
You know, the dreaded book report.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You're reading for fun instead of reading for a school assignment, and that's a totally different.
Right, and I think they hit them with book reports in the 1st or 2nd grade now. So I remember with my kids, it was a lot of pressure, and I'd say, "How many chapters have you read today?" You know, and I did bring a larger, a more advanced chapter book just to show that when kids do advance they may set a goal, and they may say, "Mom, I want to go to read my book report book at the shelter this time." And I think parents would be surprised how far they'll get because they're in a non-judgment zone and they're in there with cats.
Well, what are some of the, you've got a chapter book here. What are some of the other examples of books?
Well,
that
it can
you
be
have?
anything, from a board book to a first reader and on. And I encourage the kids to bring their own books when they participate. We have some there that are animal themed. We've got the penguin, the pigs in a blanket, my dog needs me. So
That's
it doesn't have to be themed that way. Like I said, the cat doesn't care what you're reading about.
That's right.
And it does have a positive impact on the kid who's reading and also on the animal.
Now, how long has the center been doing this?
It's been about 3 years. We have, the way that you get involved is parents call and say, I have a child that wants to be a book buddy. So we set up a time for that parent to come in with the child, learn about the room, learn about cat behavior, the things you do and don't do while you're there. Some kids never had a pet like to come.
Oh,
or maybe
what a good experience then.
Or maybe a daddy or brother is allergic to cats.
Yeah.
I've had that recently where the girls in the family really wanted a cat, but the brother was definitely allergic to it. So they come and get their little pet interaction there that they might not be able to get at home. And of course, a life at home is so hectic with school and assignments and whatever that this is a nice break and from the daily routine of sit down and do your homework, you know, at the table. That gets boring after a while.
Do your homework, then eat, then get ready for bed, then get ready for the next day.
Right. And to think that you may be challenged as a reader, that's another territory that I think this helps children who are challenged, who may have reading disability that they're working on at school, and it can improve their reading.
And that's why the reading to dogs in the library world is so good, because you're in, just like with reading to the cats, they're in a no pressure environment, and there's something special too about kids and animals and pets. So that's
true.
great.
If you have a struggling reader and you can't get to the shelter to do 30 minutes with the cats or whatever, encourage parents to just have your child, if they don't like reading, and you know there are kids that say, I don't like to read, they may want to sit down with a family dog in a quiet room and say, you can do your reading, but I want you to read to our dog, read to our family dog, and mommy's going to stay out of it, but you let me know how he likes the story, you know, that kind of thing. And it makes it fun, it makes it less pressure, it makes the parent, takes the parent out of the equation.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
'Cause
And oftentimes kids that are not readers, we guide them this way in the library. Kids that are not readers, if they're interested in something like football or baseball or soccer or dancing, you know, ballerina, you put them in front of a book about that subject, and oftentimes that will trigger them having an interest in wanting to read.
I think my son read every baseball book there was at the Williamson County Library when he was a boy. We read the biographies of Jackie Robinson. We read kids' books about playing sports. So I know what you mean. And animals are another area that every kid loves animals. Even if they don't have them at home, they love to interact with them.
Yep.
And it brightens their face. They just automatically have this wonderful creature that's giving back love and nothing else. It's not judging them. It's not getting up and leaving, and I'm bored, that kind of thing. So
that's why books like, and I think we've talked about Marley and me before, that's why books like that tug at your heart so much. It's because there's just something special about that.
That's true. The kids that participate in our program are welcome to come anytime, Monday through Friday, from 10 to 6. And so most everybody is after school, unless they're homeschooled, they can come during the day or on holidays. We don't encourage it on Saturday because we're so crowded in there.
So do you need to they need to call ahead and make a reservation
For
let
the
you guys
training.
know for the training. So what number would they call for that?
They would call the shelter 790-5590 and ask to speak to someone about the Book Buddies program, or they can email Megan Dantzler, that's MEGAN.DANTZLER. It's on the website, adoptwcac.org, and Megan will form a small group for training and meet with maybe 3 or 4 kids at a time with their parents and go over the rules. And the kids learn about cat behavior too. They learn
that's good.
You don't reach up under a cabinet and get a sleeping cat out. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You wait for the cat to come to you, and you look for clues with their tail and their ears and that kind of thing. So the kids have a great time learning about cats, and the cats take a nap most of the time.
Well, it's good to be. It's just good to be with someone, and you know, I totally believe in cat and dog animal therapy. That animals can be very, very helpful to individuals.
Well, there's research to support your, as we know, many people have bona fide service animals for support, and on a daily basis, a dog or cat just calms the child down and makes it more interesting for them to read. So
Well, it lets you, if you're going through a difficult time, it lets you focus on something other than what you're going through, and I think that's the key.
That's true. That's true. And they feel so special when they come there because they sign in on our volunteer roster. And they can wear a red apron, too, if they want to.
That's like getting their first kids getting their first library card.
It's like I am doing something for the animals. Because you have to be 14 to be a cat volunteer and 16 to be a dog volunteer. So this sort of fills the gap for you to interact a little bit. And, of course, it results in adoptions because they start talking about the cats and dogs they've seen, and they get their parents involved. So that's what we like. We want to adopt more animals.
The adoption is the key.
That's right. It's always good if it results in that.
Well, what else do you want to tell us about the Animal Center?
Well, December is a big month for us. We have our Christmas tree in the lobby. We call it the giving tree. And on it we have items that we need. They're also listed on our website, so if anybody wants to donate something.
And what is your website?
adoptwcac.org.
Okay.
They can look at that wish list. They can go straight on to Amazon and order it and have it delivered to the shelter. But the trees in the lobby is a reminder that there are things above and beyond that we need for enrichment for our animals, things that chew on, things to play with when they're having downtime. There's a lot of downtime in the shelter for the animals. They're real busy from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but during the night, they're not. So we like to leave them things like Kongs or chew toys filled with peanut butter for the dogs to work on all night.
Yeah, have something to do.
Or little toys that the cats can play with, or puzzles. It's now, enrichment is now a new word in shelter management. So you want to provide something to occupy the animal's mind, so you put a ball inside of a plastic box, and they can't get it out, but they can play with it and try to figure out how to get it out of there. So it's keeping their minds active. So they're not sad at the shelter, so they're happier, more active animals. So those are enrichment things we need, and all the adoptions in December for everything is $25 for the 25th of December. So Merry Christmas for that. We need fosters over the holidays. If you'd like to foster an animal, it gets them out of the shelter, gives them a little break. Call us about that. And we have a special Christmas morning delivery where we help Santa if he has brought a kitten or a puppy. We will help deliver that on Christmas morning. So call and ask about that. If your child's been asking for a kitten, it could be that it comes to our shelter, and we'll help you get it there.
One thing I like about the Animal Center is that you have such an active volunteer population, and they do so much, so amazing.
We do. We have a couple of hundred active volunteers and many more that have been trained. And our next orientation for anyone who's over 14 for cats and over 16 or over for dogs is January 9th at 6 p.m. at the Franklin Rec Center. So you can find that on our website as well. We'd love to have people come and become volunteers. We need them for all kinds of things.
I was going to say, sometimes, which I think is great, is walking, taking the dog out for walks, get them out of the kennels and let them have some exercise, and I think that's great.
Yeah, we even have play groups where we put dogs, 2 and 3 dogs together in a play area near the shelter and let them get some interaction with other animals, and it gives us an insight into how they do with other dogs.
That's true.
So if someone
That
comes
makes
in
sense.
and wants to adopt them, we can say, hey, they're great with other dogs, or maybe they need to be the only dog in the house. So every animal's different, and we have a lot of good information because those volunteers know them so well.
That's great, because you probably have volunteers that's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, we do. We have the early morning crew that's the same people every day at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I love it.
And they are very determined that they'll learn as much as they can about each animal. And it's not just dogs. Now, there are some people that come to the cat room and the cat kennels every day, and they know the cats as well. So cats are like dogs. You know, they have different personalities, each one. So we have a good insight into almost every animal at the shelter before it's adopted. We can tell you a lot about it because of those volunteers.
Well, thank you so much for coming today, Debbie.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it, and it's wonderful to hear all the great things that you're doing over at the Animal Center, because pets are near and dear to my heart. So it's great to come and hear about what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you for having me, and if anybody's interested, just go to adoptwcac.org and you can find out more.
Please do. Walk the dogs and get some exercise yourself. There you go.
That's true.
We'll be right back.
When I lost my sight, the only thing I had was reading.
When you discover you have an impairment, it can change your life. So take a little time to find the resources that are going to help you restore what you've lost.
Whatever your needs are, 99.9% of them can be met by the NLS program.
There's all kinds of formats that you can choose from. You can choose from large print or braille or audio.
Just can't recommend it enough. It's a free service. It's amazing how much you can get.
It has expanded my horizon.
And everybody can read the way they want to read using this program.
For more information about the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, Library of Congress, visit loc.gov/thatallmayread or call 1-888-NLS-READ.
Thank you for joining us today on Not Just Books. And please let us know about your experiences with the library and by following us on Facebook at facebook.com/WCPLTN.org, and also on Twitter at twitter.com/WCPLTN.org. And also, please let us know, you can send us an email as well at ref@williamsoncounty-tn.gov. And until next time, explore your world and read.